My first thought was to type in Eddie Brock, since a photographer of monsters that can turn into a monster. Kinda felt funny at the time, but then I figured just typing in the first name would be enough. No need to use a Spider-Man character's full name, after all. Sure, you were the professor back in the day, but there are a lot more professors out there these days. Not that any of the others even got half of Oak's screen time in any of the media. And oh dear, says something that the name of our player character had more thought put into it than the island or the vehicle we're going to be riding on. Not a major thing, but still, a bit embarrassing.
Yes!
Oh dear. Looks like I need to mess with the emulator settings a bit more. Otherwise the professor is just paying us to never take the cap off of our camera. Yeah. Doesn't matter how many pictures you take or how good they looked to you when you took them. If the red dot doesn't appear, then that means you've got nothing. Hold on. Need to consult with the internet to see what I did wrong with the settings there.
Yes!
Now that's a lot better. And now that the game has taught us how to find the A button, we're free to move the camera around ourselves. Not sure why the game felt the need to tell us to take plenty of pictures, when that is the only thing we can do in this game, especially at this stage. Of course, I also have no idea why the only creature that says its own name around here is Pikachu, while everything else seems to have actual animal sounds. Or why the only other picture-obsessed game I could ever find was Fatal Frame, which I never really got into. Considering how big Pokemon is, despite how little it's really changed over the decades, I can't help thinking they would have made quite a bit of money if they had made more Pokemon Snap games. I mean, this thing was short even at the time when it was released. Yeah. Maybe let us see some Pokemon from later generations playing around. Though I suppose the art style of the Pokemon from later generations might have gotten a little strange to see alongside the Generation 1 Pokemon in a 3D environment like this. You know, it's funny. As much as I like how Lapras looks as a creature, it's not one I've ever actually used in any of the games. And if I ever want to serve, I typically go to something like Gyarados. There's just something more satisfying in riding a deadly serpent that you raised from when it was a pathetic child, compared to an elegant dinosaur that you're gifted in a company building or something fully grown you stumbled onto in a cave near one of the later gyms. Oh, now that's definitely a nice picture of Lapras. Oh, so many easy shots you can do for this, considering how early in the game we are, and how few tricks we've got. Not entirely sure why, but as a Pokemon, I've never really been a fan of Meowth. Though I've certainly enjoyed the Team Rocket character. Sending him alongside any of the other animal-style Pokemon of his generation, and he just looks noticeably more deformed than any of the others. I know it was a style choice to make him more distinct, but the look just never worked for me. Especially when you look at him side by side with the likes of Pikachu or Nidoran. Anyway, let's get to choosing the pictures we're gonna show off to the professor. For some reason I thought there'd be more Lapras pictures, not that Pidgey would dominate this film reel. lot of free pics really seem all that great to me, but I'll take what I can get. Anyway, let's see how he scores them.
Yes.
Well, technically everything's new since the first try didn't really pan out. What do you mean the size is so-so? It's the biggest living thing in the shot. And why are you scoring the pose when we're supposed to be taking these pictures of these things while they're in the wild? I mean, if you really want Pokemon to do awesome poses for you, take pictures during a fashion contest or something.
Wonderful!
I get the feeling for the other grading bits later on, I'm probably going to fast forward, if only because there's only so much I can really say about the professor's grading of our pictures. While I'm not a professional photographer, I'm pretty comfortable with the average ratings we've been getting over 2,000 with each one, apparently. Seriously, just how much larger do you want a cute little fluff ball to be on camera?
Wonderful!
Considering we had absolutely nothing to do with the pose the Pokemon had at the time, that feels like a rather arbitrary reward of points.
Wonderful!
Still, I agree that that's our best picture of the lot, and I'm having a hard time imagining we're gonna get anything better in this game.
Wonderful! Wow!
Well, at least the Meowth and Pidgey shots that I showed him, it felt like we had to have some reasonably good timing to get them.
You were close!
Oh, come on. You're not even gonna bother looking further at the picture because the
Wait.
bird in the center is too small? He was certainly large enough for you to know what he was doing and praise the fact that I caught that shot on camera at all. Not much of a report if the only thing it's got at the moment
Yes.
are pictures. As a professor, aren't you supposed to be writing a scientific report that uses those pictures? Or are you just here for the sake of our silent protagonist having someone
Yeah.
talking to him in order for us to learn what to do next? Not that there's too much we
Yes.
can do other than either go back to the beach or head to the tunnel next. Okay, so we're just gonna skip Voltorb and go straight to Electrode. I mean, sure, they're both explosive balls, but come on. Why are we getting the evolution while the younger form doesn't appear in the game at all? Huh. You don't typically see Kakunas in a cave. I could have sworn bugs preferred the forest. Not really expecting a good score for the Electabuzz pick, and much like Meowth, Electabuzz never really did it for me. Ah, Zubats. The bane of any person in the mood to explore a bloody cave in this world. Shouldn't they be a little more numerous in here? Okay, pretty sure that's a Ghastly, but since we didn't see his face, I'm not sure we're gonna get any points off of him. And while the etching of an egg is gonna be semi-important later, for now it's just kind of a waste of film. So Not only is Dugtrio a lazy evolution of a Pokemon, the way we get one to pop up for us to take a picture of is also lazy. Just take pictures, which somehow prompts the Pikachu to move forward, and the next of the little phallic bastards will pop up. Wow! And apparently the Magnemites are so camera shy they'll start emitting some kind of camera jamming signal. Somehow that feels kinda cute. Is it wrong of me to consider that cute? I don't have a lot of practice judging things to be cute, considering the genres I'm typically interested in. Okay, the noise they keep making when they're jamming us, I could do without. Anyway, looks like our trip through this area is done for now, so it's time to go back through the inexplicable portal. Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna love the flash just before the explosion, even if you can't really tell if it's an Electrode or Voltorb at the moment it charges the blast up. Wait, the ghost was Haunter? I could have sworn it was gonna be a Ghastly. Of course, the series never really made it clear why a ghost, something that is supposedly the spirit of the departed, is capable of any kind of metamorphosis. Right, so I don't even have the chance to try showing the Magnemite picture. Not too surprising.
Yes.
Was kind of expecting him to give bonus points on the explosion before he even checked the size, but that's still a pretty solid score. Wasn't expecting the Electabuzz pit to get anywhere near that many points. Hell, he seems to think it's one of my best pits. Kind of odd that part of me feels like he's far too easily impressed with our camera work, all things considered. I mean, I know I came to this island for a bit of a vacation, a chance to de-stress after all the wars and other disasters we've gone through so far, but...
Welcome back.
Look, you don't need to say welcome back if you
Here is a
already
present
spoke to
for
us
you.
as you graded our pictures. And just why is it that only a bare few words of yours are actually voiced? Just call it an apple, not apple-shaped Pokemon food. Or do you mean to say that it's not fit for human consumption somehow? Good God, man, you want us to start setting off explosions? We already have a picture of one of them self-destructing. I mean, sure,
Yes.
the explosions they do aren't anywhere near as bad as the kind of grenade blasts and mortar shells I'm trying to take a break from, but still. I know, it was a hint on how to unlock the next area, but still, he could have worded things a little better there. Huh. Only just noticed that telephone right next to that Pikachu. Wonder if that means he's ready to call the cops if anything, other than taking pictures and the occasional thrown apple happens out here. I'm a little tempted to fast forward at the moment, since we've seen most of this already, but since the entire point of the game is taking pictures, rushing through just doesn't feel right. And given the fact that the entire amount of raw footage I have for this game that I have completed is less than 2 hours, fast forwarding feels even more ridiculous. Goddamn, missed a perfectly good shot of Kakuna there. Sure, he was large enough that Oak couldn't have had a complaint, but I get the feeling the damn bug was not close enough to the center for us to get the doubling of points. But, somehow setting an Electrode off Odd Blade makes more of them just drop down from the ceiling. Weird. It's just funny how fond I am of that Pokemon, considering it's supposed to be one of the most pathetic things on the planet. Okay, so pissing off the Electabuzzes somehow reactivates some of the machinery down here. Kind of interesting, but for some reason I'm disappointed we don't even get the illusion of taking damage when they're trying to fry us. Does this card have some kind of shield and I didn't notice the professor mentioned that? Excuse me for wondering how something without a mouth can enjoy an apple. Hell, I'm not even sure that Magmamites even have a digestive system. And the way to the next area opens up. Why is Eddie so shocked that blowing up a loose pile of rocks somehow opened up a new path? I'm more shocked that somehow he's able to control where the damn thing goes in the cutscenes when we have little to no control in the actual game. Well, I don't think any of the Kakuna shots look all that good. Then the main reason we went back there was just to open up the next path, not to improve our picture scores.
Yes.
Well, at least the size is good enough for the rest of it to be scored better. Still, crappy pick, but I'll take the improvement. Funny. I kinda thought that an Electabuzz actively doing something would score better than one that's just been knocked into Dream Street.
Welcome back.
I'm pretty sure you already knew about that path since you advised us to throw apples at electrodes and watch them blow up.